The book of Genesis opens with a tale as old as time itself, a story of creation, a narrative that has been passed down through generations, capturing the imagination of countless individuals. It speaks of temptation and humanity's fall from grace. But nestled within these familiar verses lies a mystery that has captivated readers for millennia: the enigmatic Nephilim. Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 to 4 introduces us to these beings, whose origins and purpose have been the subject of much speculation and debate. Born of an unsettling union between the sons of God and the daughters of men, their arrival on the earthly stage heralds an era of unprecedented wickedness, culminating in a divine judgment that reshaped the world, the Great Flood. This cataclysmic event was not just a punishment, but a reset, a chance to cleanse the world of its corruption. These verses paint a stark picture of a world spiraling into chaos. The Hebrew word Nephilim itself evokes a sense of dread, often translated as giants or fallen ones. These were not merely large humans. They were beings of immense power and mystery. They were something altogether different, something that instilled fear and wonder in equal measure. Their very existence seemed to defy the natural order, and the text describes them as mighty men, men of renown, figures of extraordinary power and influence. Their presence marked a turning point in human history, a descent into darkness that would ultimately force God's hand. The Nephilim were not just physical giants, they were giants in terms of their impact on the world, a descent into darkness that would ultimately force God's hand. The very existence of the Nephilim challenges our understanding of the natural order, hinting at realms beyond our immediate perception. Who were these sons of God who dared to corrupt the divine plan? Were they angels or something else entirely? What became of the Nephilim after the floodwaters receded? Did they perish, or did some survive, hidden away from the eyes of humanity? These questions have echoed through centuries of theological debate, fueling countless interpretations and inspiring awe in believers and skeptics alike. Scholars have pored over ancient texts, seeking answers, while artists and writers have drawn inspiration from these mysterious figures. The story of the Nephilim is not merely a curious footnote in biblical history. It is a stark reminder of the consequences of straying from God's path. It serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to seek righteousness and resist the temptations that can lead to our own downfall. The Nephilim, with their blend of the divine and the mortal, stand as a testament to the complexities of faith and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Their legacy, shrouded in mystery, continues to captivate and caution us, reminding us of the delicate balance we must maintain in our own lives. The identity of the sons of God in Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 to 4 has been a subject of intense debate among theologians and biblical scholars for centuries. This passage, shrouded in mystery, has sparked numerous interpretations and theories, each attempting to unravel the true nature of these enigmatic beings. One interpretation, favored by many, identifies these beings as fallen angels, spiritual entities who rebelled against God and were cast out of heaven. These fallen angels, often depicted in ancient religious art, are believed to have descended to earth, drawn by the beauty of human women. This view finds support in other biblical passages such as Jude chapter 1 verse 6 and 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4, which speak of angels who did not keep their positions of authority but abandoned their proper dwelling. These texts suggest a narrative of celestial beings who defied divine order, leading to their downfall. Proponents of this interpretation argue that the term sons of God, Bene Elohim in Hebrew, is used elsewhere in the Old Testament to refer to angelic beings. This linguistic evidence strengthens the argument that the sons of God in Genesis were indeed angels. For example, in Job chapter 1 verse 6 and chapter 2 verse 1, the sons of God present themselves before the Lord, and Satan is among them. This scene underscores the celestial nature of these beings as they are depicted in the divine council, a realm beyond human experience. This suggests that the term carries a celestial connotation, pointing to beings beyond the realm of humanity. The divine council, a recurring theme in ancient texts, often includes these sons of God, reinforcing their otherworldly status. Furthermore, the text describes the sons of God as being drawn to the daughters of men because they were beautiful. This attraction, depicted in various forms of ancient art, highlights the allure that human beauty held for these celestial beings. This attraction, some argue, suggests a transgression of boundaries, a violation of the natural order established by God. The union between these spiritual beings and human women is seen as a breach of divine law, an act that disrupted the intended harmony of creation. Angels, being spiritual beings, were not meant to interbreed with humans. Their actions, therefore, represent a significant deviation from their intended purpose, leading to a corruption of the natural order. Their actions represent a deliberate act of rebellion, a defiance of God's authority, and a corruption of His creation. This narrative of rebellion and defiance is a recurring theme in religious texts, illustrating the consequences of straying from divine will. However, other interpretations exist. Some scholars believe that the sons of God were not angels, but rather descendants of Seth, the righteous son of Adam and Eve. This interpretation shifts the focus from celestial beings to human lineage, suggesting a different kind of transgression. They argue that the phrase sons of God could refer to those who remained faithful to God, while the daughters of men represent the ungodly line of Cain. This view emphasizes the moral and spiritual divide between the descendants of Seth and Cain. This interpretation emphasizes the moral corruption that permeated human society, leading to the intermingling of the righteous and the wicked. The union of these two lines is seen as a catalyst for the widespread moral decay that ultimately led to the Great Flood, a divine response to humanity's pervasive wickedness. The offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, the Nephilim themselves, are shrouded in mystery and speculation. These enigmatic beings have fascinated scholars, theologians, and historians for centuries, sparking countless debates and theories about their true nature and origins. The Bible offers tantalizingly few details about their appearance and abilities, leaving much to the imagination. This scarcity of information has led to a wide range of interpretations and artistic representations, each attempting to capture the essence of these mysterious figures. The term Nephilim itself, often translated as giants, conjures up images of towering figures possessing superhuman strength and stature. These giants are often depicted as formidable warriors, their immense size and power making them both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Some scholars believe that the Nephilim were not merely large humans, but rather hybrid beings, inheriting traits from both their angelic and human parents. This hybrid nature could explain their extraordinary abilities and the reverence or fear they inspired in ancient cultures. This interpretation finds support in the text's description of them as mighty men and men of renown. These terms suggest that the Nephilim were not only physically imposing, but also possessed qualities that set them apart as leaders and heroes in their time. These terms suggest that the Nephilim possessed extraordinary abilities, setting them apart from ordinary humans. Their feats and accomplishments would have been the stuff of legend, passed down through generations as tales of incredible strength and valor. Their unusual parentage may have granted them enhanced strength, intelligence, or perhaps even supernatural powers. These abilities could have made them influential figures in their societies, capable of feats that ordinary humans could only dream of. Ancient texts and legends from various cultures around the world often depict giants as possessing abilities beyond those of mortals, such as the ability to control the elements, communicate with animals, or even manipulate time and space. These stories, while fantastical, may have roots in the real-life exploits of the Nephilim. The Bible hints at the Nephilim's impact on the ancient world, describing them as heroes of old and men of renown. This suggests that their influence was far-reaching, affecting not just their immediate surroundings, but also the broader course of history. This suggests that they were not merely isolated individuals, but rather influential figures who left their mark on history. Their actions and decisions could have shaped the destinies of entire nations, leaving a legacy that endured long after their time. Their exploits may have inspired myths and legends, passed down through generations and shaping the beliefs of ancient cultures. These stories, while often embellished, serve as a testament to the enduring impact of the Nephilim on human history and imagination. The arrival of the Nephilim marked a dark turn in human history. Their presence coincided with a surge in wickedness and violence, as if their very existence corrupted the world around them. The Bible describes this era in stark terms, Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. Genesis chapter 6, verse 11. The Nephilim, with their extraordinary abilities and disregard for God's law, likely exacerbated the moral decay that had already taken root in human society. Their might made them formidable warriors, and their influence may have spread rapidly, leading to widespread oppression and injustice. Some scholars believe that the Nephilim's presence sparked a kind of spiritual warfare on Earth, as demonic forces exploited the breach between the heavenly and earthly realms. This interpretation finds support in the biblical account of the flood, which describes God's judgment as a cleansing of both the physical and spiritual realms. The violence and corruption that characterize this era serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of sin and disobedience. The Nephilim, whether viewed as literal giants or symbolic representations of human wickedness, embody the destructive potential of straying from God's path. Their story stands as a cautionary tale, urging us to guard our hearts against evil and strive for righteousness in a world often consumed by darkness.